Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Home Staging Talk Show Live. I'm Jennie Norris, your host. This show is brought to you by the International Association of Home Staging Professionals, of which I'm the chairwoman. It is the largest staging trade industry organization in the world, and really a great group. If you're not part of an association, I'll just start off with this. Join. IHOSP is your home in the home staging industry. That's one of our slogans. We really are a family, and it's hard to pursue a business solo without any sort of support. I will say that our association really loves all of its members. All of our leaders actively own and operate staging companies, so we know what you're going through. We have built successful businesses, and so we impart our knowledge onto those who are starting in the industry. And, getting tapped in for ongoing support, camaraderie, education is really, really important. So if you're not a member yet, go to IHSP.com. There's the acronym up there in the window, this little thing here, IHSP.com. You can join. You do have to have education to become a member or be part of the approved exception rules. So you can always email me and send me information. Anyway, it's a great association. We love each other, and we love being part of home staging. And with that said, I'm going to start off today by talking about our upcoming conference. So if you have not seen this, we are going to be in New Orleans in February 2023. So it's not too soon to start planning to get your ticket. What you don't want is for the holidays to pass and then, New Year's rolls around and markets can be a little slower and you're like, I don't have the money to come. So start putting money away now. Tickets about $550 to $600. For all of the sessions, for an awards dinner, sit-down meal, plus coffee and snacks, and there could be some other food as well provided. So there's not a whole lot you have to come out of pocket for outside of the hotel and travel. The hotel has given us a great rate, and it's right down at the Sheraton, right downtown in the French Quarter. It's a beautiful location, and they have special pricing. So it's through our site. You have to go to IhospConExpo.com. IhospConExpo.com. And by the way, if you're watching right now, I have this streaming to several different pages, so I can't see who you are if you make a comment. Be Live. Hey, Stephanie. Be Live broadcast makes people have to click a link or something. So if you do write a comment or you have a question, please sign your name so I know who you are, and I'd be happy to answer. But anyhow, but the hotel reservations, make your reservations now. We have a block of rooms for the 24th, 25th and 26th of February. And then before and after, we also have rooms that we've reserved for people who want to come in a little early or stay a little after. And of course, afterwards, we do have our advanced stager training. But first, I'm going to show this. Our awards dinner, we always do like to do a theme, and it'll be fun this year. It's going to be the Masquerade, Mardi Gras, Gala, and Awards dinner. And this is where we give out the awards for people who are top in specific categories like top vacant, top occupied, top luxury, and so forth. And so that's going to be Sunday. Costumes are encouraged, but they're, they're not mandatory. And so we're going to have a lot of fun. So that's going to be Sunday night. We wrap up our event with a big celebration. No one else does it like we do. That's the truth. No one else in the industry puts on an event like we do. And it really is a way to bring people together. It's very important about the education. I've already started lining speakers up, so I'm going to start announcing those this coming weeks. I know you're going to be super, super excited at the first ones that I've contacted. Call for speakers will go out for other general sessions and breakout sessions. So look for that. And also, if you have thoughts on topics you'd like to hear about, just simply email me, because that helps us to plan a conference that is going to be serving our members and, giving you the education that you want. So come to New Orleans in February. It's going to be a blast. And again, start saving. So my estimation, I usually tell stagers, you need about, I would say, $1,200 to $1,500 to comfortably be able to pay for airfare, your hotel, and the conference. Now, of course, you can room share as well. So if you need a buddy for a room, we will have a page on our conference page. We're going to start matching people up, make a friend. As you know, that the European Association had their conference at the end of May, and my husband John and I flew out for that. And it was so wonderful. And there were several other people from the US that were there, people from Canada, all over Europe. And, the education was great. So you're going to learn a lot, whether whatever conference you go to, but it's also the people that you're around and getting to know them and making new friends. And that will sustain you in your business. I promise you. Getting around people and being able to share experiences and so forth, and to understand that you're not the only one that's going through it or having challenges, or maybe you're very ambitious and you want to grow a huge business. Get around people who have huge businesses. That's what I'm going to tell you, and they will be at the conference. And so register now. Best pricing is right now. Prices do go up incrementally every few months, so don't wait. And again, start putting money away now for the conference. The advanced stager training, we started doing this a few years ago after the conference. It's for 6-figure and above stagers, or if you're really close to 6 figures, you come and you learn what it takes to get to that next level. And it's always very well attended. It is a limited space. When you register for this education, because it's two additional days, and it's not speakers speaking to you from stage or talking at you. It is you and your colleagues mixing together, talking about challenges you have, coming up with solutions. It's very targeted to what your particular issues are, which we can't always do in a general conference. And so the advanced stager training was our way of addressing some of the growth issues that people might have, and be able to help you in a forum that is not a lecture or a speaking. So it's very interactive. And we'll have special guest speakers coming as well that will teach on particular topics of interest, and we can really delve into those more. So when you register for the AST, the Advanced Stager Training, you'll get a discount on that when you've also purchased your conference ticket. So keep that in mind. If you have a team that you would like to bring to the conference, there is group pricing for that as well. So you pay full price for the first one, and then it starts to scale down to save you money for each successive person that you bring from your team. So make sure to ask about that when you register. You can always email Krista at IHOSP.com. I'll put her information in here. If you have a team you would like to bring, and she can help you with the pricing on that. Just, start planning now, and it's going to be a great time. I'm really excited for it. So what else is coming up? Let's see. We have those of you that are interested in learning how to shop wholesale market. This is coming up pretty fast. It's at the end of July 25th. And so if you are interested in learning how to shop and be taken around to the vendors, we have a deadline for us to be able to get a group together and be able to share with our vendors who's coming, and so they can plan and so forth. If you're thinking about doing this, registering for the Vegas market, it doesn't cost anything. We can help you with that. We have reps that are assigned to us from the market, and it doesn't cost anything. It's free to attend. Of course, you have travel. They oftentimes have specials at hotels. Airfare shouldn't hopefully be too expensive to get to Vegas. And then the tour itself, we take you through the market and we show you how to read tags and how to read the pricing, and our specific vendors who give us special pricing, like stocking dealer pricing on things, better than designer discounts, way better. And because we're basically a buyer group, a buyer club. And so when you register, by the way, for market, they'll ask you what group you're with. So make sure to put down IHOSP, select that so they know that you're coming on behalf of IHOSP and shopping for your business. And so that is coming up. If you are interested in that, go to shopwholesalemarket.com. The domain is right down here, shopwholesalemarket.com, and you'll be able to get information and register for the tour. All right. Coming up in September, we are teaching, let me put this in here, master's course. So the master's course has been the longest running advanced stager training course in the industry. Lots of ASP masters out there. In fact, most markets were launched by a master ASP. That's the truth. And I can go back in history and show you who that person was if you have questions. But I've been in this industry going on 21 years now. So every major market was established by somebody who had this credential. And as you grow your business, there's certain things that you're going to struggle with. We all have done that. And so the master's course takes you through the building blocks for your business to help you understand your pricing structure, to make sure you're actually making money. I'm surprised at how many people don't know how much profit they're making. And so you need to know that you're profitable. And it's not just, I have a staging project though where it's $2,000 and I only had to pay out, $800 for rental. So I made $1,200. No, you didn't, because you have overhead expenses and so forth. So we want to take a look at your pricing and profitability, your marketing strategies, and help you with what works today to get business, your business structure and logistics. How do you grow from a solopreneur into maybe having a small team into a larger team? And how do you get trucks? And how do you know that you're hiring the right kind of people or bringing them on and so forth? So we go through all of this, including warehousing, buying wholesale. All of this is covered. Presentations, making presentations. It's funny because that still is the number one fear people have, public speaking. And so I looked it up recently because I was speaking at an event and I thought I was speaking on public speaking, but actually I was a trade ambassador for our association. So, but I did look this up and I thought it was really interesting because that feeling you get when you start to share and you're nervous, right? And so your heart starts pounding and sometimes you get a catch in your throat. And I can remember back in college raising my hand to ask a question of a professor. And the longer I sat there, the more nervous I got, to the point where I was just sure everybody around me could hear my heart pumping. And so I'm sure that they didn't, but it felt like that. And so that is a normal physiological reaction to fear. And the reason why we fear public speaking, get this, they say it's performance anxiety, and is actually in our DNA, believe it or not. We experience public speaking as an attack. We physiologically register an audience as a threatening predator and mount a comparable response. So fight or flight, right? Core is fear of being watched, judged, and rejected. So that's the number one fear just in general for people. So we want people to get past that fear, because what we do in our business, it's a people business. We have to speak to people. So to become comfortable speaking in front of people, it requires, practice and knowing your topic and so forth, and just doing it. So the first time I did a presentation, I don't have a piece of paper around here, but my hands were quaking. I was so nervous. The paper was shaking. So I remember sitting it down, and it was a small real estate office, and I got through it. I was proud of myself. And so it's just a matter of practice and doing it. So that's one of the things we do go over in the master's course as well, in a very supportive environment, so that you get used to giving presentations in an environment where you have an audience who's also been through what you've been through. So it's a great way to hone that skill, and so much more we go over. It's in Plymouth, Massachusetts, which I'm very excited about. It's a beautiful location. If you recognize these wonderful people here on the right, that's Sandra Holmes and Blair Hamady with me, one of the High Point markets that the three of us spoke at. And so Blair, of course, has a string of stores in the Boston area. And so he graciously allows us to teach in his design center. And because of that, then he'll be there. He'll be one of the guest instructors, and so will Sandra. If you know anything about Sandra and Blair and even myself, we all have been in the industry a very long time. We know what works. We know what doesn't work. We all have successful businesses. We actually own and operate businesses currently right now. It's not in the past. It's not that I used to own a staging company. It's we own a company right now. We are in the trenches right now. We know what is needed right now, how the market is shifting. So you want to learn from people who are where you want to be and who are actually current in the industry right now. And that would be us, truly. So the master's course is 4 days. And we have a really nice graduation dinner at the end that Blair usually sets up for us and we pay for. So I'm in September in Plymouth. Is a great time of year. It won't be super hot. And it's just such a charming place. So treat it like a getaway. Treat it like a getaway for yourself. You have to invest in your business and in yourself for success. None of us goes on this journey knowing exactly everything that's going to happen. There's going to be challenges and things that are going to throw you off. And so being able to have a group of people that you can rely on and count on and reach out to is super important. But it's also education. I know there's so much information out there on the internet. People can Google and look. When you have a class that's put together, it's not that they're the only ones that figured out the information. It's basically they've pulled it all together for you. So you don't have to go and source everything and try to figure it out. It's all there for you. So the investment in your business and your education is crucial for your long-term success. And I just want to encourage all of you to invest in yourselves. That's so important. Come to conference, take additional education. We have a lot of extra classes we offer through IHOSP for different designations, for niche specialties you can take. So get involved and get registered for these classes. I want to give a plug for our coaching program. June Carter does a phenomenal job with coaching, and I know she's launching a new series. And so coaching, asking for help does not make us weak. I sometimes think that people think like, well, if I ask for help, then people are going to think I'm a loser and I don't know what I'm doing. And it's quite the opposite. When you ask for help, it's you have recognized an area where you need some third-party guidance to keep you on track. That's actually very wise. It's not this, it's this, winner. See, 3 fingers, winner. Right? Hi, Yolanda. So check out the coaching program. There's different modules and different things you can participate in, whether you're new or seasoned, you can take advantage of that. And I do want to remind everybody that right now we are doing the Best of Home Staging recognition. So you can nominate people. You can go to bestofhomestaging.com, bestofhomestaging.com. I'll type it in here, bestofhomestaging.com. And you can nominate colleagues under 3 categories: staging excellence, if they do excellent work. You'll have to show a few of their examples. Industry leadership, somebody who actually serves the industry, not their team, et cetera, but they're a leader for the industry, helping advance it, helping mentor, helping guide people. So this would be somebody who serves in the association or an association, somebody who might be a coach, somebody who could be an educator, et cetera. So those are the ones who are industry leaders. And then client care excellence, these are your testimonials that we want to see, that you do great work and your clients love you. And so these 3 categories, you can be nominated for recognition. And so you're not going to get a trophy, but you will get logos and so forth. And those of you that have heard me say this before, this was from Best of House. They had their awards giving out. I thought, we have nobody in the home staging industry recognizing the excellent people in our industry. And it's not, it's not relegated to just one group or another. We don't restrict who can be nominated. We don't restrict who can win or be recognized based on politics or some other issue. Everybody is eligible. I don't care if you belong to an association or not. If you do great work, if you've been serving the industry in some capacity, and clients love you, you deserve recognition. So nominate. You can see here the nominations end August 30th, at which point we will be letting everybody know who was recognized in these categories. And so don't wait, because there is a little bit of work you got to do for the nomination, for uploading pictures or links to property stagings. And then we need a headshot of the person, et cetera. So make sure you don't wait till the last second to get that in. All right. I believe that is all of my announcements. So let's talk about marketing. I put out on one of our groups, what's your biggest challenge for getting business? And Tiffany, thank you for responding. It was just a little bit ago. I should have done this yesterday because I was, waiting to see what people's answers were going to be. But tell me the biggest challenge you face in growing your business. So just write a comment here. If you're watching, please just comment. What's the biggest challenge you face from growing your business? And Tiffany's response was marketing. If you have other challenges you're facing or something related to marketing, a specific question on that, please write it down for me and I'm happy to answer it today. This is a series we're doing on marketing because those who market make it. And that's my saying. Those who market make it. Without marketing, you have no sales. Without sales, you have no revenue. Without revenue, your business isn't going to thrive and you're going to quit. That's what's going to happen. And we don't want that. And so a lot of people get into this industry and they focus on the fact that you can make things pretty, that you get to go shopping or be able to have things and you're setting up houses and so forth. You're never going to get there unless you know how to get business. So the business part of it has to start first. And if you don't have a strong foundation in your business with education and knowing what to do, how to price, what to do when the phone call comes in, et cetera, the Accredited Staging Professional course with Staged Homes is the best platform for education. It is a business course. It's not just the creative side. So you're going to learn all the creative as well, but it really is for your business. Your business planning, your goal setting, the direction you need to go in. That's all taught and covered. And so you need a firm foundation. So marketing is part of that. You don't have a business unless you market yourself. Now, setting up a website and getting some business cards, those are marketing materials, marketing collateral. That's a way to brand yourself, and that's still not marketing. Marketing is proactive. Now, there's passive and active marketing. So examples of passive marketing, which can generate leads for you, would be things like branded wear, a baseball cap, a t-shirt that has your company name and information on it, magnets for your cars. So you can get magnets that have your company information, phone number, and so forth. I like magnets because you can take them off if you're not driving your car and someone else is, and they don't drive like you do, or you want to go incognito. So, you're not in stager mode. So you can take them on and off, but you'll be surprised driving around how many people are paying attention and looking at your signs. You can wrap your trucks and so forth. That's a great way to brand your business. Other passive could be, we used to have like a photo tote bag, but so anything that has your information that, you're not actively marketing, you're just like walking around or driving around, that is passive marketing. Okay. So that's part of marketing, but we want to get into the active role because you're actively pursuing clients. And so when it comes to marketing, you have to be strategic. It's not just throw a bunch of mud up on the wall and hope some of it sticks. That is a strategy some people do. They just send out a bunch of information. They don't have a targeted audience or a targeted message, and they just hope that somebody calls them. And so what you really need to think about is, what is your messaging? How is your market shifting right now? Okay, so the market is shifting. How many of you are aware of that, right? In my market, I'll talk about Denver. It was very, very hot market the last 2 years, as a lot of your markets have been. Interest rates started to go up, and that started the market to go like this a little bit, or just level. Instead of being like this, it's more like this. Houses are sitting longer. The higher priced houses are going to take longer to sell in most markets, simply because if somebody's purchasing that property and they're getting loans, now the interest rates have gone up. So payments are higher, qualification is more stringent. These all factor into impacting the market that we're in. And so staging should become more in demand in a slower market, theoretically. And that's what most of us experience, that now, because it's not just put your house in the market and it's going to sell like that, right? And even people that sold like that, you left money on the table if you didn't stage, because there's always more that could be offered for a property. And it's not about being greedy. Every market was like this. And especially if you're buying in the same market or you're moving to a market that's also very strong, you need every penny from the sale. And that's what staging does. So as the market slows and things aren't flying off the shelf, sellers are going to be looking for added ways to gain the advantage. And certainly realtors will as well. It's a very competitive industry, as we know, real estate. There's, however many real estate agents are out there, over 2 million real estate agents, about a little over 1 million realtors. And the number of houses that sold last year in the US was about 6.1 million. So all those people are sharing that pot. And so there's realtors that are very productive and some that have very low production. So they need an edge. They need a way to get the business and come out of the white noise. If everybody's saying the same thing as realtors, like, we're going to get your house sold, we're going to use photography and videos and so forth, that's just white noise now, because every realtor is doing that. Some do it better than others, of course, especially the cell phone picture people that snap the picture with their cell phone. It's not even a good cell phone picture and upload that. That's very tacky, in my opinion. But realtors have to rise above the noise of other agents. And the way they can do that is value-added services. We are a value-added service. So what is your messaging for your marketing? So right now you need to be thinking about how you're going to shift to get that messaging out to your target clients. And messaging would be, you could do something like, as the market is, softening, staging is, red hot, helps to get red hot. You can do a theme with the summer, but the messaging needs to be that we're here to partner for your success. We want you to get property sold in the quickest time and for the best price. That's our expertise. Let us help you. So you're there to help the real estate agent meet their goals, and the investor and the builders and the sellers. So change your messaging for your marketing. So I had talked about what some of the strategies I've been implementing recently in the last year or so, and have shared with a few people, and they really are working. And so I wanted to kind of hone in and teach you all what we have been doing. And so those of you that are watching, you're going to have some homework to do between now and next week. And so what I want you to work on, if you don't have this done already, is your Google My Business profile. Google My Business, because answer this question. And again, you can write it down to me or you can answer it out loud. But when people are searching for a stager, do they go into Facebook and look? Do they go to Twitter? Do they go to TikTok? Do they go to Instagram? They don't. What do people do? They go online and we Google. We search. We put something in the search bar. Google is the number one search engine, whether you have Bing or whatever. I don't care for those search engines. Google is still number one. And so you need to be found on Google. You need to be present on Google, because they are the most powerful search engine out there. Google My Business came along. We're going to go back in time a little bit. So just so you know, the strategy with partnering and being exposed on Google is something I've been doing for over 10 years now. So initially it was Picasa. Picasa was a photo platform that we could use to organize our photos, and Picasa was owned by Google. So we put our photos in, you could do slideshows, you could brand them, you could put them up on your sites and so forth. Well, then Google decided to get rid of Picasa, and they took all of the photos that had been loaded in on that platform and they put it into Google Plus. Google Plus was a platform that was supposed to compete with Facebook, and it failed miserably in that regard, like creating circles of friends and so forth. But the other element of Google Plus was the public facing profile that you could have. And when all of your business pictures were put in there, they were being put out on the platform publicly and driving people up organically in the rankings. And at first I was irritated because I liked Picasa, and I'm like, why are you taking all my pictures and putting them out here? That's not what I wanted to do. But then I had 1.2 million views of my my business and my work before I realized it. And that was the power of Google. So I thought, okay, this is something. So started posting purposely on Google Plus. And it's really all about the hashtags when it comes to posting on Google. So then about 2 or so years ago, Google said that Google Plus had a security breach, which I don't really believe that, but regardless, they got rid of Google Plus. So then I thought, well, now what? What's the next thing that we can use? Google My Business. Now, Google My Business has been around. Most people are not using it. Do you know that you can have a website on your profile with Google My Business? You can put all your services out there. You can build a whole profile through Google My Business. So how many of you realize you could do this? I don't know if you're raising your hand or not. Okay. So how do you do this? You have to go find your own business. So you go to just open up a Google browser, type in your business name. You're going to see something pull up, and you're going to click on the business information. And it's going to say, do you own this business? And you're going to say, yes, I do. And that's going to take you into a place where you can start building your profile. The reason we do this is because you want to be posting then in your profile. We'll get to this next week, but you want to be posting in your profile every day. And I'm going to show you what you need to be doing every day in order to get that organic reach and that visibility. So the first step is to set up your Google My Business profile. All right. So again, you're going to go into a Google page. You're going to search for your company. You're going to find it. You're going to click on, it usually shows up on like the right-hand side, or could, the business information. So you can click on that. It's going to ask you if you own this business. You say yes. Now, if you've never set up your profile before, you're going to have to go through the setup process. Google still is a little archaic in this, but they send you, in order to validate or verify that you are a legitimate business, you put your address and stuff in, and then they're going to send you a postcard that has a code on it. You need to put that into your profile in order for your profile information to be verified, and then you can start posting. Okay. And that can take 3 to 5 business days to do that. So that's why I'm suggesting you do it now, start getting started. And next week, I'll show you my profile and everything like that that's been done. I'll be able to share my screen with you. So that's your homework, is to get that set up. And then we're going to talk about what's the strategy with this whole thing. And the goal is to be found. So, with lead gen and so forth, a lot of people are spending a lot of time in the social media platforms, and you can advertise and, target people through that platform. Really what those were intended to be, like, let's use Facebook as an example. It was supposed to be for sharing and for relationship and so forth. It really wasn't initially meant to promote businesses and so forth. And then, of course, recently they sort of shot themselves in the foot by allowing users to opt in or out of being followed around. Meaning, if you've ever looked at something online and then it shows up in your Facebook page and it shows up in Instagram, it's because they know that you were interested in that. And so they're going to keep having these things pop up until you hopefully purchase. Well, 75% of the people who could opt out of that did. And out of the 100%. So there's only 25% left in the platforms. And that's why Facebook has been struggling. That's one of the reasons. And so that platform probably isn't the best place for you to be doing solo reliance on that platform to get business. Okay. You need to be found elsewhere. We're going to talk about LinkedIn coming up as well. That's a platform that is actually partnered with Google. Google has a favorable relationship with LinkedIn. If you know the dynamics and the politics behind all these platforms, Google doesn't like Facebook and vice versa. Amazon, Google, Facebook, all these things, all these, leaders of these companies either like or don't like each other. And so they're either going to cooperate as a platform or not. LinkedIn does cooperate with Google and vice versa. So it's a great place to be. A lot of people sort of forget about LinkedIn as a platform. It's a great professional platform for networking and also for getting business. So don't forget to go on there. So we're going to talk about your LinkedIn profile as well and what you need to be doing with that. But we're going to start with Google, because if anyone, if you're like me, and I think most people do this, if I'm looking for something, I'm going to go to Google, I'm going to type it in, I search home stager Denver, home stager, prepare my house for sale, whatever they're going to, they might put a city in or whatever. So we're going to talk about the hashtags that you need to be using in order to be found by the people searching in your area to get the leads. And one of the great things about your Google profile also is you can do a quick quote form. You can actually build things in when people go there. You can link to your website you have right now, and you can also build a platform on Google. So you have now 2 places to be found. And I've actually used the one on Google when my primary site went down. I just would direct people to the Google site because it has tons of information, photographs, et cetera, that go in there. And if that's the one place that people are looking and they don't want to go to your website to get information, you got to make sure they can contact you, get information, get pricing, or whatever they're interested in. You can do all of that through your Google My Business profile. So get busy, start working on that. That's your homework for this week. I don't have anything else I'm going to share this week because I want you guys to get that done. So I'm going to type it in here, create your Google My Business profile. Completed. That is the first step, because without that, none of what else I'm going to share with you is going to work at all. So get that done. And if you have any questions, you can always email me, Jennie at IHOSP. Those of you that are just watching for the first time, why am I sharing all of this? Well, because I want stagers to be successful, and lead generation in marketing is very, very crucial to your success, as we've talked about. Those who market make it. So you want to be marketing strategically to get the business, and Google is a platform. And this is all free, by the way. Having a Google My Business profile doesn't cost you a dime. Just you have to set it up. It's your time. And then using that as a tool to get organic exposure and reach and to go up in the rankings, that's the goal. And I'm going to show you how to do that. And the combination between that and what else we're going to be talking about, the combination of those 2 strategies, I haven't told you the second one yet, is going to help you gain business. And I know it works because I've been doing it myself. I've told other colleagues who were struggling, do these things. Their business did a 180. And they have more business they know what to do with now, et cetera. So the main thing with marketing is whatever you choose to do, it needs to be consistent. So you can't post one time and then think that's going to do the trick. And there's certain ways to utilize hashtags and so forth, which we're going to talk about with these platforms. Johnny Fowler's done an amazing job educating the 2 times we've had him at the conference. And then he also did a couple of special sessions. He is so knowledgeable about all of this. He was the first one to teach me that you don't put 30 hashtags on Facebook. I used to put so many, and they actually will suppress your post if you put too many hashtags in. And there's ways to know, like, what are the top hashtags? You can actually search the top terms for even your region. What are the top terms people are using to find a home stager, to find a real estate agent? You can actually look at that and put those terms in. So there's strategy behind it. It's not just hoping or wishing. You need to be doing things that you know are going to work for your business. And so get your profile done, and there's services you can build in there, the different services you offer. So we have occupied home staging, consultations, we got vacant, we have luxury. So you want to put all of your different service niches in, your credentials, all of that. So build your profile out on Google My Business, request the card to be sent to you. So hopefully by this time next week, you'll already have been verified, and you'll have put that code in, and then we can move on to the next step, which is teaching you how to post. All right. That's it for today. I hope you have a great weekend, and stay warm or stay cool wherever you are. Enjoy the weekend, and I will be back next week with another episode. Thanks, everybody. Bye. Good show. Thanks, Annie.